Is my ego too big? I don't think it's big enough.
King Mark was amazing, dude.
Hey, somebody's gotta do it.
Around the turn of the century, 4 letters dominated the pop music scene: GKDM. This powerhouse band toured worldwide and captured hearts and imaginations, only to plummet just as quickly as they ascended to superstardom. Their story is one of passion and pain, melody and mania, rhythm and rage. Join us today as Behind the Music investigates the phenomenon that is GKDM. GKDM was formed in 1999 by choreographer Shelly Two-Step. Shelly Two-Step is notorious in the world of dance for her lightning-quick dance steps and her strong will. Shelly was instrumental in the creation of GKDM. By all accounts, the group was her idea. Unfortunately, Shelly and the group parted ways shortly after the release of the band's first album. We sat down with her recently at Two-Step Studios to discuss her place in the band's legacy.
Now, how did I come up with this idea of the magnificent boy, girl, mega rock, just pop stars all together? Now, that was something I trademarked. You take the boy band that was so popular back then, and then the girl bands that were so popular back then, and then you mashed them together, you crunched them, you mashed them, and bam, that's what you get. It was a boy-girl mega pop band.
Being an experienced choreographer, Shelly naturally wanted to incorporate some smooth moves into the band's stage show. Unfortunately, many of the band's members were either unwilling or unable to become the dance machines that Shelly wanted them to be.
So I don't understand. Shelly Two-Step, she knocks on your door and she says, hey, I want to make you a star. You don't want to dance with her? You don't want to dance. You know how many people are down the road wanted to dance for me? Shelly Two-Step. But these people, what do? You stand on stage, you don't do nothing? You just sit and sing to people or something? You have to dance. You got to do something. Boring.
Shelly, our choreographer, man, she's trying to get us to dance, man. She thinks I'm trying to be another Michael Jackson or somebody. I mean, I'm just not having it. I don't do all this dancing stuff. We're rock and rollers, man. Rock and roll lives.
Dave Jetts, the self-proclaimed high priest of rock, was GKDM's fiery frontman. Jetts was no stranger to the limelight. He had enjoyed fame and fortune throughout the 1980s as the lead singer of the hair band Dave Jetts and the Bombers. Jetts and the Bombers released several gold albums, including The Jet Setters, Jet Setting Professionals, Jet Plane Maniacs, and Bombers on the Veranda.
I'm Dave Jetts of Dave and the Bombers. This is my sly guy, Mitch, the best drummer in the world. We're the greatest group. I'll tell you, they don't get in my way. We're on top. We're touring all over the world. The fans love us. We're having a rocking good time. We got to have more people like Mitch along with us to keep the band going.
Jetts and the Bombers seemed to have it all, but the band was coming apart at the seams. The band's frustration with Dave Jetts' ego came to a head in the summer of 1989 when the band refused to show up for a sold-out concert in Madison Square Garden, leaving Jetts to play all by himself. Critics and fans alike agreed that without the talented Bombers backing him, Jetts had fallen flat on his face.
Man, who needs them? I'm going to show them who's number one. I've been carrying them for years anyway. They just didn't sound good. They never played good. They just were an average band. I'll show the world who's number one now. That's me, Dave Jetts.
Jetts disappeared from the public eye for the better part of the 1990s. Then in 1999, Shelly Two-Step made him an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Now I took Dave Jets. You know, everybody thought I was crazy, a little crazy, Shelly Two-Step. But I took Dave Jets, and you know, he was not the pop star kind of person, but I could change him. I knew I could change him into something.
Unfortunately for Shelly, that change was never to come.
Is my ego too big? Man, I don't think it's big enough.
He was horrible to work with, but I knew where he could go. And I don't regret anything, even though I'd like to kill them all.
Much of Shelly's anger is directed towards King Mark, the band's manager. King Mark has been managing bands since the 1970s. He's worked with the Stevens Band, the RR Band, Kingfish Marland, and most recently, Willie Funkenstein and the Funkadelics. King Mark wanted to be a musician like his father, but after realizing that he couldn't cut it, King Mark decided that if he couldn't play music, he might as well get paid off of someone else's music, and he became a manager. All right, so King Mark, I've recently interviewed some of your band members, and they said that you pretty much had a lot to do with the band coming apart.
Let me tell you something. King Mark, you could go and eat garbage for all I care. Eat garbage. You probably do anyway. Just eat garbage, King Mark, alright?
You know, they said you didn't, you booked them in the wrong arenas, sometimes the wrong state even.
What do I think of the band manager? Well, let's just say I'm keeping my eyes on him. Both of them.
Do you have anything to say in your defense?
They're crazy.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
A bold accusation, but just how crazy were they really? So was it true, all those stories?
Maybe some of them.
Some of them?
Yeah.
Really? After the break, who is King Mark? A reputable businessman or a snake in the grass? We will hear from band members Lee and Mitch and get their side of the story. Plus, we'll hear first-hand accounts of the chaos, animosity, and child labor law violations
King Mark brought me into the band.
that engulfed the band. All this and more when Behind the Music returns.
I'm gonna need you to get these boxes and bring them downstairs!
All right.
Would you get the let out already?
The workplace can be a dangerous place, and you never know when an accident might happen. We understand this, and if you're hurt at work, there is hope.
Accident?
Yeah. Who are you guys?
Sherman and Mascotti.
Getting electrocuted didn't feel good at all. But the money felt nice.
I should get hurt more often.
I got money.
I'm going to sit in my jacuzzi right now, and thanks to Sherman and Piscotti.
Sherman and Biscotti, legal guys, will be right there in the blink of an eye. We now return to Behind the Music.
It was a boy-girl mega pop band.
We're rock and rollers, man. Rock and roll lives.
Well, let's just say I'm keeping my eyes on him. Both of them.
Lee Adams was unquestionably the most underrated member of GKDM. A natural musician who plays over 20 instruments, Lee felt that her talents were wasted in the band, where she played tambourine, maracas, and the cowbell.
I used to work on all the cars. I worked on a 1958 red and white Plymouth Fury, and her name was Christine.
If the name Christine sounds familiar, it's because Lee was infatuated with the 1983 horror film Christine about the killer car. Unfortunately, her bandmates did not share her love.
Yeah, I saw the movie Christine once. It was okay, but not great.
I just didn't think the movie was all that spectacular. I saw it, I didn't love it.
I don't get it. How did the car drive by itself?
No, I thought it was the best idea in the world. I wanted my bandmates to dress up as the characters from Christine.
I don't get why Lee wanted us to dress up like cars. I mean, isn't that kind of weird?
That's all I can say is weird. It's just weird.
Of all the scandals which surrounded the band, the darkest and most controversial was their treatment of little RJ. Who was RJ? We'll let him tell you in his own words.
Hey there, my name's RJ and I'm 14 years old. When I was 8, King Mark like brought me into the band. Well, like at the time, I was only 8 years old, and like I didn't know that I was supposed to be paid in money, right? And instead, they paid me in candy.
I feel that it's a shame that they paid RJ in old stale candy.
Like instead of getting paid in good stuff like Hershey's bars, Kit Kats, Three Musketeers, or like Butterfingers or Twizzlers or all of that, I got paid in 2-year-old stale milk duds. I mean, like, I don't really even like milk duds.
Now, as far as RJ goes, I mean, he was a good, piano player, keyboard player, but he didn't have hands of gold. He deserved what he got as far as getting paid in milk duds. That's not our fault. That's up to Mark. That's up to Marty Mark.
I mean, yeah, the kid was a good piano player, but he's whining all the time, wanting more candy. I need to go to the bathroom.
Well, it wasn't my idea to pay RJ in candy. That was King Mike's idea. If you're watching this, RJ, I'm really sorry about what happened.
I need more candy. That's all behind me now, and I'm not mad at the band anymore. But sometimes I do wish that I can poison their food when they're not looking. The only person that I liked in the band was Shelly. But I kind of feel bad how people treated her in the band. It just wasn't right, and I really hope that I never see any of them again.
In July of 2000, Shelly Two-Step, creator of GKDM, was abruptly fired from the band.
When Mike, David, and Lee decided to kick Sally out of the group, I think that's when everything started going downhill.
I came up with this idea with this band, this mega pop band, and it's like my baby. You have a baby, you're really proud of it, you want to show it off to people, you want to take responsibility. What do? They just take away your baby right there, and you're just left empty-handed saying, took all that time making this baby, but I had nothing to show for it. It's just the baby's gone.
And she kept making me dance, so we just told her she had to go.
I tried to give her some moves and stuff, but she just wouldn't do it. She was very stubborn, and I just didn't see where she was gonna try to go with the little tambourine.
Shelly, she's talented, but she costs a lot of money.
All you gotta do is put a qualified band on stage with me. I don't need to dance. That's why she had to leave the group.
Do I feel bad what happened to Shelly? No, not really. No. Not one tiny bit.
After the break, we will get to know Mitch, the voice of reason in the band. We will also hear about Dave Jets' controversial beliefs, and we will introduce you to the band's biggest fan. Then, we'll hear first-hand accounts of the chaos that eventually tore the band apart. All this and more when Behind the Music returns.
Hi, my name is Dave, and this is Sam. And we're from Dave and Sam's Used Car Auto Sales. Yeah, you're gonna like this one, baby. Now one. Come to Dave and Sam's. Nobody beats our prices, nobody. $50, $9.99. We have a wide selection of used cars. We have caravans, trucks, cars, SUVs.
Bam! Dave and Sam!
Bandito suits. Suits for all occasions.
Hi, I need you to help me get a suit. I got a new job.
Try this one on, my friend.
Good, I would work for $1 million. Try this one. Fits me good.
Bandito.
Manditos. They hooked me up.
Suits fit for a can.
Bandito suits.
Mandino Suits, located at 2 Cottage Street, Albany, New York.